Hello YouTube! Now, this video, well, this shiny, is a prerequisite I was hunting to doing an Alpha Sapphire DTQ. Now, you might be wondering, why am I hunting in a Japanese Ruby in order to just start a DTQ in another game? The reason being is the time travel award. I wanted my own shiny Pokemon for that award coming from the original Gen 3 games. And I decided Spinda was probably the most unique Pokemon I could hunt in this instance. This came after 6,049 random encounters. Now, let's get into this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is just False Light. And that's Speed Boost activating. Let me just double check. Before I accidentally kill something, does that look about right? I'm gonna chance it. If it could either be a fail. Wait. Yeah, no, every other thing works right. Alright, that's correct. And I grabbed nest balls specifically for this hunt now. This is Bag. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the nest ball. 23. Let's go. Yes! Okay, I know exactly what I'm going to name this. Wait, is it going to show the Pokedex? Oh, this is my first time actually doing this. Here's a regular Spinda. And here's shiny Spinda. Okay, I will be right back. And then I will show off its summary screen. So just give me one moment. Alright, I have given it its name of Dizzy, which I thought is really fitting when it comes to Spinda with its, swirly eyes. And if I'm not mistaken, according to a nature chart I'm looking at, it has a relaxed nature, which I have no idea if that's good or bad for it. Overall, I'm just happy to have found my shiny Spinda for the Time Travel Award. Anyway, that's all for this video, and either it will be its own separate video or part of the Torchic video, which is this will just be the start of it. So, I wish you luck on all of your hunts, and I hope to see you all again when I find another shiny, and maybe it will be Magby. Bye! Now, I've realized I can actually show the whole process of transferring it up, which I think is something I should do, which is something I've never actually gotten really the chance to do with any of my other shiny Pokemon, which, regardless, I have a Pokemon Diamond that's set up, and that will accept these Pokemon as they're being sent up. Okay. And I've picked 6 Pokemon to send up. It's taking in the data. Alright. They're now on the cartridge. Now, let's do some catching in Pal Park. We're gonna catch everything. Okay, there's one. We're gonna try and get everything in one shot. Because I want to show the whole process. So yes, this video is probably going to be longer than most, but hey, price to pay for wanting to do something a bit more interesting. Okay, Zigzagoon. Okay, if I'm not... will this be it? No, it's the regular Skitty. I'm not exactly sure which biome would actually contain the Pokemon that I'm looking for, but this will just be completely raw, unedited. It's just going to be placed in. Okay, nope, not there. Oh! Ooh, the Gen 4 Sparkles. That's really nice. I was mistaken. It was a Whismur, not a Wurmple that I sent up. It's only going to be edited slightly because I just spent like 5 minutes trying to find it. Alright, that is that done. Now, I'm going to slightly pause and change it to be... well, just organize everything in the box for a neat transfer up to Gen 5. Alright, we've gotten to Gen 5. And I just have to boot up the game. I already have DS Play activated here. Now, there will... yeah. Wait, what was I saying? Yeah, regardless. This is going to be a bit annoying to get on camera, but hopefully shouldn't be too hard. Okay, one game will now pop up on the other side, and there it is. Yeah, this takes a little bit of time. But I think I can move this DS over and move this one into the spotlight. Okay, never mind. I can do it how I wanted. I'm not going to try and explain these games because there are people that can do it far better than I ever could. Oh, there it is. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the data is now being sent to the Pokemon White cartridge. And then past this point, I'm just going to boot up my other 3DS to get Pokemon Transporter going. after I traded it to an English Black 2, which isn't a requirement, but I'd rather personally do it that way. Yep, I was right. Okay, and that is it pretty much for Gen 5. I will show off its sprite, at least, in the Pokemon PC. And here is Dizzy in Gen 5. Anyway, that's all for this section. Now, let's move on to the 3D section. Okay, while this is booting up, this is the final step. I've gone Pokemon Transporter first, because in order to move things from the Generation 5 games, including the Gen 1 and 2 Virtual Console, you have to boot up Pokemon Transporter. Now, unfortunately, it is not an existent product anymore, but for those who still have it, this is how you would need to do it. And there is Dizzy. He's going to the Transporter box in Pokemon Bank. Now, he's been moved to 3D. Now, I'm going to temporarily move this up, pop out the cartridge, put in Pokemon X, to initially just put into Generation 6, and then boot up Pokemon Bank, now that it is also recognized Pokemon X as the game that is inserted. And this is how you just simply move things from Generations 3 to 6. And I think I've now decided at the end of this whole process, Spinda will be its own video. But it is still the prerequisite to my Alpha Sapphire DTQ. Now, I did do one thing during the transfer process, which was teach Spinda a specific move, which is exclusive to Generation 5. And that would be the whole process. You take it from the transfer box, put it into one of the games you own. Alright, that is all for this video. Oh, yep, that's just it. Bye!